So, do you guys remember when President Donald Trump was trying so hard to hide how much money he had paid in taxes? And he ultimately knew this wasn't going to be a good look for him. I mean, how American does it make you look when you make hundreds and thousands or millions of dollars and you're only paying $750 in federal taxes? I mean, is that patriotic? Well, hey, this isn't a video talking about politics, me not bashing Trump. If anything, when it comes to these type of strategies that he implemented, you have to applaud the man for knowing how to protect his money, knowing how to keep as much of his money as possible. When I first became self-employed, when I first became part of this world, and I took a break from college after my sophomore year, and I started working in the real world. One of the jobs I had was a subdivision of the Boston Globe, and I helped to manage what they were called hawkers, who worked around the city selling newspapers. So, for all you youngins these days, back in my heydays, and I know I probably don't look that old, but y'all are like, wait, what? Well, newspapers, the Boston Globe, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, was what, that's how we got our news. And obviously that job ended up getting cut as newspapers start to become less utilized. People don't really, I mean, when's the last time you guys saw a newspaper? And so ultimately, with that job though, I was self-employed. I was an independent contractor. I worked with the company who, was owned by the Globe, but I wasn't a full-time employee. That meant I would get a 1099 form and I would have to be responsible for paying my own taxes. And after my first year or 2 years of doing that, I ended up owing so much money in taxes because I wasn't really aware of what it really meant to be self-employed, what it meant to be part of this gig economy. And it kind of it took a while. It prevented me from getting to where I am today. We'll say that, my credit score is in the 750s, 760s, whatever. I'm not in debt. It's been a journey getting to this point. I'll say that. And hence the reason I make these videos. I'm sharing the game I share with you guys to try to help others from avoiding, some of those pitfalls, some of those obstacles that I dealt with that you don't have to experience. So if you are part of the gig economy, you probably recently received a 1099 form from TaskRabbit, and it should have last year's date, 2021. And this will basically, it's a 1099K form to be specific. Bam. 1099K form. And so you should have received that in the mail, or you should be receiving it in the mail any day now. And of course, I did want to pull up TurboTax's Taxes 101 for TaskRabbit Taskers form so that you guys are actually kind of seeing confirmation of what I'm speaking about from a legit source. Also, if you're part of the gig economy and you're not using something like QuickBooks, well, I got a link down below to QuickBooks. You absolutely want to consider signing up with them. Use my link. It's a referral link. And ultimately, it's going to help you with getting more insight to your cash flow, to money coming in, but as well as the money going out, and with managing your money where you can actually know if it's something that you use towards your self-employed business, because then you can actually use that as a write-off, a deduction that's going to allow you to pay less in taxes, which means you keep more of your money. I pulled up this article. Not really going to read this whole thing. I'll include a link to this down below as well as to QuickBooks. If you are self-employed, as you can see right here, we have the traditional employment versus independent contractor status. And in traditional employment arrangements, the employer provides a W-2 form at the end of the calendar year reporting to you and the IRS the amount of money you made and what taxes were withheld, such as Social Security, Medicare, and income taxes. Throughout the year, the employer takes these taxes out of your paycheck and sends the money to the IRS on your behalf. But as an independent contractor, you are both the employer and the employee, so you are responsible for the timely payment of these taxes. Again, you are both the employer and the employee. This is why I always try to stress and drive that message notion that you are a business. Like, I know a lot of you guys out there like, no, I'm just a tasker. Nah, you are a business. And the more you can start to see yourself as a business, the better off you're going to be. I'm telling you guys. Hence, I have not only the TaskRabbit Make money course, but I also have a how to start your own business course on makeManageGrowMoney.com. I didn't those It's not for no reason, right? It's because I want to help other people understand that, and I get it. Some people are like, well, I don't have 20 people on my team. You can be an LLC, a single member business, LLC or S Corp, without 20 dozen people. It can just be you, literally. And the more, like I said, you start to think about yourself like a business, the better off you're going to be, because a business, well, at least an efficient business, is going to keep track of all of their business expenses, everything when it comes time to invest in tools and equipment, or the transportation that it took you to get to a job. I mean, there are so many different business expenses that you can write off to help you with lowering how much money you pay in taxes. And as I mentioned, you are both the employer and the employee. It says the tasker's income, all the money you earn as an independent contractor, must be reported on your federal tax return. Since TaskRabbit is not an employer, it does not provide you with a W-2 form at the end of the year. However, the company is required to provide a Form 1099-K if you earn more than $20,000 and perform more than 200 tasks in the calendar year. So that is something that, you'll something to note, why some of you guys who are new may not have received a 1099-K form. However, even if you don't receive one, you are still responsible for reporting your income. So don't try to be sneaky if you don't get one. Like, they'll know. They'll still know. And it even says it right here. Even if you don't receive a 1099, you must still report your TaskRabbit income. Access your earnings on TaskRabbit by logging into your account and going to Transactions. Each state has its own tax rules for independent contractors, so follow your state's rules. And of course, some people are like, well, I was new there, but I got a lot of my money off TaskRabbit and my customers paying me Venmo, Cash App. This is very important. I haven't made a video really speaking about this like I should, but under the American Rescue Plan, changes were made to the Form 1099-K reporting requirements for third-party payment networks like Venmo and Cash App. So essentially, if you receive $600 or more through Cash App, Venmo, any of these, apps, well, basically it's something that is being looked at like an independent contractor or something, or you're, again, self-employed, and you'll have to pay taxes on that. Now, it doesn't take effect. The change begins with transactions starting this month or last month, whenever, depending on when you're watching this, or when I post this, but January 2022. So it doesn't impact any of 2021. However, it definitely is going to, play a factor and influence with people's businesses moving forward. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not going to read this whole article, but the one other thing, like I started to touch on, is the importance of business expense tax deductions. It says use Schedule C to report your TaskRabbit income, as well as any business expenses related to that income. Business expenses are costs that are necessary solely as a result of your activity as a tasker. For example, if you offer lawn mowing services, your expenses for operating and maintaining your equipment are deductible. Also, because equipment wears out over time, you can write off or depreciate part of the entire cost of the lawnmower over multiple years using Form 4562. So one of the most important things, like I said, when I first began being self-employed, I wasn't aware of the importance of like keeping your receipts, logging your miles. And what I mean is, if you drive to a customer's house to do a lawn mowing job, well, maybe to do that lawn mowing job, you had to invest in a lawnmower, and you had to invest in, for example, I use Ego lawnmower, battery powered Ego lawnmower that I used to put it in my car. I had a Honda Accord. I have a Honda Pilot now, but I used to put it in the back seat of my Honda Accord. And, I think I got videos. I got to start to look for these videos and stuff, because people don't believe me and the grind that I've been on, and, that you can make all these things possible. People are like, well, I don't own this, I don't have that. And it's like, well, you're not really making an effort, obviously. But anyway, so I literally would put my lawnmower in the backseat of my Honda Accord. And well, that lawnmower was something that I bought specifically for TaskRabbit, right? I don't have a lawn, but I technically would be able to do my lawn too with it. But it would be something that I could write off as a business deduction because I bought it for TaskRabbit to help me with lawnmower jobs. Then I had to drive to the customer's house. Well, I used my vehicle, which required gas or maintenance on my vehicle. Even the vehicle itself was a business expense technically, because I bought my vehicle for personal but also business purposes. So if it's something used for a personal and a business purpose, you can therefore write it 50-50 or whatever percentage you use it towards that appropriate party, that appropriate work or whatnot. So between the ability to not only write off the lawnmower, gas if you use gas, or gas for the car, and then the miles that you drive to the location, I believe it's like 50 something cents per mile. Well, all of those are deductions that you can use towards how much you're going to have to pay in taxes at the beginning of the year. So when I do my taxes for 2021, I have a ton of receipts. And like I said, QuickBooks makes it much easier now than ever before. When I first started off doing all this stuff, I think QuickBooks did exist, but it wasn't what it is today. And it wasn't as popular. So I probably didn't even know about it for a few years. But ultimately, you want to make sure you are, you're signing up with QuickBooks and or some sort of management, some sort of tracking software that's going to help you with logging your business expenses, but also giving you insight to your income and your miles. QuickBooks, I could not recommend it enough. But ultimately, like I said, if you are new to this TaskRabbit world, make sure you're starting to keep track of when you go to the store and buy something that you need for a job. Well, that is a business write-off, a business deduction. If you invest in any apparel that happens to promote your business, well, this is a business deduction because this is for my business. It says my company logo name on it. There are so many things that you can invest in that are going to help you with growing your business, but then also lowering how much money you're going to have to pay in taxes, which means keeping more of your money. Like I said, this channel is all about managing, and growing money. And so we want to manage our money appropriately so that we reinvest it in our business and continue to grow, see the returns worthwhile. Where we grow, we make more money every year. And yeah, I'm investing more in more equipment, better equipment, more apparel, different things every year. But like I said, by doing so, it's allowing me to steadily grow every year, and also lower how much I pay in taxes. Not a bad deal. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys found this video helpful, motivational, encouraging. If you have any thoughts, any questions, any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. Like I said, I will have a link to QuickBooks and, to this article and some other, resources and whatnot that might be helpful for you guys. So like I said, much appreciation for watching. Good luck with doing your taxes for 2021. Yes, of course, one of the most important things I probably should have said at the beginning is technically you probably should have or could have done them quarterly, but that's not always recommended. It's not always the best solution. This isn't legal or financial advice, of course, so maybe consider speaking with someone at H&R Block or on one of these accountant websites or whatnot who might be able to help you depending on your particular situation. For me, I don't do it. I wait until the end of the year, do it all then. Yeah, there might be a small little penalty, maybe not, but yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Like I said, much appreciation for watching. You guys already know I got to keep it moving, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.